10,000 subscribers. Okay, so we hit 10,000 subscribers not too long ago. We're a little bit above 10,000 subscribers currently. Just wanted to say thank you all that are subscribed currently, that have been subscribed, that are new subscribed. I especially want to thank and commend the long-time viewers that have been watching for a good bit, even since the beginning. I know from that time, I've had some people that unsubscribed, some people that stayed. If you are one of those people that have been subscribed from the beginning and has stayed subscribed, I thank you so much, because I know not all the content that I put out interest you, and I'm not always posting the reactions that you might want to see, obviously, because I go through a bunch of different groups at one time, so I might not be posting everything that you want to see. But I'll say I'm very grateful for you guys that have stayed, whether you've been subscribed and just viewing, or commenting, liking the videos just over time. I thank you all so much for actually being interested in my thoughts and reactions, just on these songs and stuff like that. Like, that was one thing that was hugely surprising to me, because I didn't think this many people would be that interested. And I guess by YouTube standards, 10,000 isn't a lot, but if you think about it in the real world, like I think about it in this room right now, 10,000 people couldn't even fit in this room. You feel me? Like, that's a lot of people to me, at least. That's great to me. Honestly, definitely hope this channel continues to grow and more people continue to find my reactions entertaining and want to know my thoughts on certain things, because I do love sharing my thoughts. And also, I gotta give a thank you to the Patreon subscribers as well. I actually started the Patreon actually a month after the channel had started, because it was growing quicker in the beginning. So the people that have been supporting on the Patreon over time and doing all that, I thank you guys a lot as well. The Patreon has definitely helped me the most when it comes to anything, especially when it comes to kind of upgrading the things for the channel specifically. Like, in the beginning, didn't really have like a laptop to do stuff with, so I was doing everything on my phone. Then, also the camera, obviously, you guys could look at the camera quality from beginning of the channel to now you're seeing it. It is definitely different. It, of course, is not the best camera in the world, but it's definitely way better, and I've been able to upgrade that through the Patreon. Even the thing that I watch the videos on, my monitor, of course you guys can't really see it right now, but it's on the side right here, I also got also through the Patreon. And that was main goal of the Patreon as well, to help kind of upgrade the stuff to continue to do this. Even stuff like, getting me new headphones, because I don't know what it is, but headphones break after some time, so got to get some new ones. Even stuff like that, the Patreon has helped immensely. And again, I just have to say huge thank you to all the people that have been supporting over there as well. So yeah, to kind of, I guess, celebrate in a way the 10,000 subscribers, or give you guys a little something, I was thinking of what to do. And I was thinking for the little small milestone right here, I could do like maybe like a Q&A or something like that, right? To, I guess, allow you guys to know just a little more about me and my thoughts on certain specific things. I allowed you guys to basically ask me any question that you wanted me to answer in my kind of 10,000 subscriber post. And I did get a couple questions on there, so I'm going to be answering those in this video so that you guys can know a little more about me moving forward in the channel and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into the questions right here. I'm gonna pull them up on my phone, just go through the comments. I know not everybody might have seen the post or might have asked the question, so if you guys do have any additional questions after this video, you guys can feel free to put that down in the comments down below, and maybe I'll do like a part 2, or just answer them down in the comments if I feel like they're easy to answer. But yeah. So let's start with the first question. Do you know a song is your favorite on the very first listen and stays as your favorite for a long time? I guess I would say, usually when I listen to albums, of course, I pick my favorites on there. Usually, yeah, the favorite that I do pick does stay my favorite for a long time, but there are some instances where my favorites do change. And that's usually off of, a couple listens, maybe 3 listens, or like, usually when my favorites change on an album or something like that, it's because I've heard a song and then I hear it and I don't listen to it for a bit, but then I listen to it again after a bit of time, maybe a couple weeks or something like that. And I'm like, yo, this song is actually really good. So I listen to it and then I continue to listen to it. So like, you know, certain songs like that might kind of over time grow on me, or maybe I'll listen to it more and it becomes my favorite or something like that. I guess the most notable example I can give for that is last year. Actually, one of my favorite songs of the year wasn't my favorite song on the album that I had listened to specifically. It was Mx's Papillon. So when I had first listened to the album, the song was actually ranked number 4 for me for my favorite, but it wasn't my number 1. But as I kept listening to that, my love for the song just grew and grew and grew, and it ultimately became my favorite song off of that album and one of my favorite songs of the year. So that's the most notable example. I have some other examples as well, but it doesn't really happen that often. Usually my favorite from an album that I do listen to usually stays my favorite, and I usually listen to that one the most, unless, you know, there are two that are kind of my favorite. And then I guess it just depends over time which one of those songs I listen to the most. So yeah, that happens sometimes, but yeah, usually when I listen to a song on the first listen and it's my favorite, it usually stays my favorite for a long time, to answer that question. The next question is actually multiple questions, because I'm just like scrolling down these right here. Actually, multiple questions I got from my guy Shang. Shang, thank you for leaving. I think you left like 10 questions. Yep. So this will, you know, give me more questions for the video, because there wasn't that many like things, comments under this post right here. So I'll say thank you, Shang, 100%. The first question he asked was, what are your top 5 or top 10 discographies or artists in general? Now that is a really hard question, and I don't know if I'll be able to give you the exact question answer for top 5 or top 10 discographies. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Before making this channel and kind of doing the music reactions and stuff like that, I didn't really go through artist discographies. I think I can name maybe only like 2 or something like that I actually went through the discographies, and that's because I really enjoyed the music that I was hearing, so I was very inclined to do so. But in the past, what I would do is I would just hear a song from an album, or maybe just listen to one album that caught my attention, but I wouldn't go through the artist's full discography like I do now. I've only kind of been pushed to do that because, of course, you know, you guys saying like, oh, this album, they have this album, they have this album that you should check out as well. So I've kind of just been going through, you know, the artist discographies on this right here because you guys have wanted me to do so. But before doing this channel, I had never done that before, but I have started to do that now. There are a lot of artists that I do actually want to go back and listen to their entire discographies that I do listen to, like personally outside of the channel. So, you know, maybe I'll do that. But I would say for the ones that I have listened to full discographies by, because I'm not just gonna do it based off of, you know, I've listened to a couple albums and not their full discography. I'm gonna do it based off of the ones that I've listened to full discographies by. So top five. I'm gonna do top 5. I ain't gonna do top 10. Top 5 artists. So you ask discographies or artists. So I'm gonna tell you guys my number 1 artist just straight off the bat, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, I don't think that's ever going to change. Michael Jackson has been my favorite artist since literally I was like, I don't know, like 4 or something like that. I don't know how old was I when I got first into Michael Jackson, but since then he has been my favorite artist, and that has not changed at all. Actually, recently I have been going through the past music that I haven't heard by him, and it made me like his stuff even more. And when I was younger, I actually had a CD of his Escape album. That was like one of my favorite albums growing up. I played it so many times on my PlayStation 2, just put it in, it would just play so many times. So Michael Jackson will continue to be my favorite artist ever. His discography is great and stuff like that. I would say another artist that I really enjoy is Mac Ayres. So I discovered his music about, I think, like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I discovered his music and I started listening to a lot of his stuff. He makes it, you know, nice kind of R&B music. Of course, that's my main kind of like genre I really like to listen to. And I really like his vocal tone a lot as he sings. If you guys don't know who that is and you like R&B, I would definitely recommend to check out some of his music. I would say my favorite albums by him are Comfortable Enough, Juicebox, and also Magic 8 Ball. I think those 3 are definitely some of my favorites by him. So, you know, any one of those albums you could listen to. He's also one of my favorite artists just in general. And in his discography, I've listened to his entire discography. But yeah, other than that, for like the Western artists, I haven't really listened to any Western artist like full discography. So from that, I'll transition into the K-pop stuff that I have listened to full discographies by for my top five right here. So for a number three, I'm gonna go straight out the bat. Red Velvet. Red Velvet is one of the groups that I would say is the top when it comes to my favorite discographies just overall in K-pop. And that's mainly because of how good their R&B is. There's multiple groups that do R&B, but there's something about Red Velvet's R&B that just hits different. It hits different. It's their voices, it's their harmonies, it's the way they do certain things. The production's always great. I think their producers do a great job always. 100%, like absolutely amazing. Red Velvet. I would never skip a Red Velvet song ever. I don't think I've ever skipped a Red Velvet song when they came on. Also, like just never. 100%. Another group that I don't usually skip that much when it comes to discography, Twice. 100% Twice. They do a lot of different genres and different kind of sounds and stuff like that, but there's something about the way their voices come together in a song that is like almost perfect to me. You feel me? Like I feel like they fit so well with each other. Even when they do their, their units and stuff like that. For me, it just works perfectly, especially going with the specific songs that they do have. I don't think there's many Twice songs that I do not like because of that. Majority of their songs are on my playlist, and I usually never skip their songs like at all. So I would say Twice is up there when it comes to discography for me as well. I would say maybe number four, and then number five is a little hard because I feel like there's a couple groups that I feel like I could put at that specific place, but I'm gonna go with another biased take and go EXO because of their also very kind of large R&B kind of sound and stuff like that. Of course, they do other sounds as well, but EXO has also been another group that, especially lately, I've been listening to a lot of their songs and just going through and really, really liking their stuff 100%. Of course, I still have to go through like their unit discographies and their solo discographies, but as a group, as EXO discography, fire. So yeah, them as well. And like I said, there are multiple other groups as well, but I'm gonna just go for those top five right now because I feel like a lot of other groups after that are a little tied for me. Of course, I do have to give a very honorable mention to BTS. They're the group I kind of started with when it comes to the discography listens, and I think their discography is absolutely amazing as well. But I will admit, I don't think I've heard all of their discography. I think they have Japanese songs that I have to go through and listen to. So when I listen to those, I'll try to think about them more on the ranking, but I didn't do it yet because of the fact that I haven't listened to all of their stuff yet. And I mean, I think it's the same with other groups as well that are on the list already, but I think those are like OSTs and stuff like that that I got to check out. But in terms of like actual songs they put out without an OST, I don't think I've listened to all of BTS's stuff yet. But yeah, they're honorable mention though. So yeah, that's basically like a top five. Now he also asked me, what about top five, top 10 songs? I cannot answer that question at all. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think like there's so many songs I've listened to throughout my life, and there's so many songs that I am gonna listen to. Just there's probably a new song I'm gonna listen to today. There's probably a new song I'm gonna listen to tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Especially doing this channel, I listen to new songs every day. So I can't choose that question. I can't answer that question because there's always something new I'm liking, and there might be something that I love but I don't listen to as much anymore, and there might be something new that comes out that I love and I'm continuing to listen to it because it's new or something like that. But I don't think there's been any song that has like hit me in a specific way where I'm like, this is my number one favorite song of all time. I don't think that has been a thing for me, and that's just because I love all music. So nothing can ever be the top because everything is always kind of there, if that makes any sense. So can't really answer that question, but I guess that's kind of an answer to that right there. The third question he asked was, do you go to college? And if so, what do you major? I do not go to college, have not gone to college. Of course, there are definitely certain reasons for me not going to college. I did think about it, right? I did think about going to college at one point, but again, obviously certain circumstances and reasons didn't allow me to go to college. If I did, I will say if I did go to college, I don't know exactly what I would major in, but I know I would definitely be doing something around music theory and all of that stuff like that in college. But I haven't gone to college, so mainly the studying that I've been doing when it comes to music stuff has been on my own at home. I have my home college. But yeah. So next question is, I know you focus a lot on music when reacting to K-pop, but I'm curious, what kind of visuals do you like? Like, who are the idols that have your favorite looks? So at first I was a little confused with the question, right? But I think so. Here's how I'm going to take the question: is basically kind of talking about physical attraction, maybe something like that, because like visuals are obviously visuals, face, looks, stuff like that, just in general, right? So I'm going to take it as that. So I would say there's a lot of things that can make me attracted to a person specifically, but if we're talking just based off of physical attraction, that is actually a really hard question, only because of the fact that it's kind of like, for me, the way I see it is that these K-pop idols are kind of designed to be attractive, right? Like there's like, I'll be completely honest, when it comes to physical attraction, there's not many idols that I don't see as attractive, because a lot of them are, again, designed to be attractive people, like objectively attractive, good looking people. So I would say there's not many people that I would say like are my favorite when it comes to that, because a lot of them just kind of have that going on just in general. If I had to think about it that way, specifically with the physical visual attraction, I will say I think most of my biases that I have in the groups, not all of my biases, but most of the biases that I have from each group, I am attracted to. Of course, me being attracted to them isn't the thing that makes them my bias, but I guess it does add a little bit onto it, right? So my biases that I have in the groups are specifically the ones that I'm attracted to. And I have a bunch of biases because I listen to a bunch of groups and look at a bunch of groups and stuff like that. I have a bunch. So, I mean, if you guys want me to do a thing where I go through all of my biases in the groups, because I don't think you guys know my biases in the group specifically. I don't think I've like specifically said that when it comes to reacting to these groups' music and stuff like that. I don't think I've really said that. But, you know, if you guys do want me to do a thing where I can tell you my biases, I can do that. Or you guys can just ask me specifically in the comments down below which specific group my bias is, and then I'll just tell you in the comments, you know, I'll just reply to it, tell you who it is or something like that. And then more times than not, I'm most likely attracted to that person, right? Visually attracted to that person. So you did ask what kind of visuals do I like though? I don't know if I have a specific kind of like type of visuals that I like. I think it's just what I like at the moment. I don't know if there's a right way to kind of describe it, because even when I look at the people that I am visually attracted to, they look pretty different from each other. So I don't think there's anything specific. Who are the idols that have your favorite looks? Again, there's a lot of them, but if I had to pick like one that I know most likely my favorite when it comes to that is Park Ji-hyo from Twice, I would say. And of course, her visuals aren't the only thing that makes me attracted to her, but I would say if I had to pick like a favorite person or like a specific idol, she would be the one that I feel like I would say I'm visually attracted to a lot. But again, a lot of that is because these idols are kind of designed to be attractive to the fans and stuff like that. Which is why there's a bunch of fans out there that are like absolutely insane when these idols get in relationships, which is actually crazy to me. I'm like, bro, that's actually like really weird to be mad about somebody that you don't really like know like that getting a relationship just because you think they're attractive, right? Because you know that's like a thing for some reason. Of course, that doesn't just happen in K-pop, but I do see it a lot when it comes to that. So yeah, I guess that's my answer to that question right there. Again, mainly my biases in the groups I am attracted to. Anyway, moving on to the next question though. Your favorite singer, dancer, performer in K-pop. Also, I basically just told you guys my favorite singer just now, which is Jihyo. Again, she is also one of my favorite singers when it comes to K-pop and stuff like that. I'm not saying she's the best singer, right? I know people are gonna be like, oh, but this person, no, I'm not saying she's the best singer. I'm saying she's my favorite. She has my favorite way of singing, like the way she sings I like the most, and her vocal tone specifically. It's her tone and the way she pronounces certain things and stuff like that. I've said before, like if you watch my Twice reactions, I've literally said I'm in love with her voice multiple times. Her voice is just absolutely amazing to me, 100%. That's kind of like for the girl singers, just in general. I mean, she's definitely my favorite singer just overall in K-pop, but I know like usually with girl and guy singers, it's definitely a little different. So I would say my favorite guy singer, I would say probably Do-young from NCT. Do-young from NCT has one of my favorite voices as well. I really like the way he sings as well. And there's a lot when it comes to that, but I do think him as well. Also, I do have to give an honorable mention to someone that I think is very slept on when it comes to singing. She's a fourth gen idol, Haram from Billy. Oh my gosh, like one of my favorite voices as well. I love how she sings. Her vocal tone is great. Like everything, it's perfect for the genre that they usually go for and stuff like that. Like it's just yeah, absolutely amazing. And again, there's great singers throughout all of K-pop, but I would say those are some that definitely stand out to me a lot as well. Dancer's a little harder because there's a lot of great dancers out there. A lot of great dancers. I mean, again, a lot of these people are trained for these things, so they gotta be good, right? They gotta be good and they gotta stand out. So it's kind of hard to pick favorites sometimes. But I would say my favorite dancer in K-pop, I don't know. I would say definitely the one that I've been the most into looking when it comes to their dance, their everything and stuff like that. And then you guys probably know if you see my reactions to this person, Taemin from Shiny. That dude is a freaking beast. There is like something different when it comes to his dancing. I said it when I was reacting to him. There hasn't been, I feel like, any other idol that I've looked at specifically and been like, yeah, that dance is freaking like it sucked me in to the point where I was like not even fully paying attention to like the song, where I was paying attention to the songs in that videos as well. But usually when it comes to music videos that I watch and they have dance in it, I usually pay attention more to the song and I really just like, put the dance to the side until later on. But he was one of the only people that I feel like that I really focused on the dance while it was going in the music video as well. That dude again is a beast. Kai from EXO as well, also a freaking beast, I would say. Mentioning girl idols as well. ITZY, the dancers in ITZY are crazy as well. I've been reacting to a lot of their stuff. They have been also people that have kind of like taken me away from the song and like focusing on their dancing videos. Yeah, there's some of the most like that's like one of the most entertaining groups I would say to watch dance wise 100%. And again, I've watched so many different amazing dancers just in general. So, I can't say every single one. I could go through like 50 idols and be like, "Oh yeah, this dancer is great." But I would say just based off of just what came straight in my mind, those people 100%. But definitely Taemin. That dude absolutely again, Taemin 100%. I will say though also the fifth gen kind of like era of like K-pop has been, producing a lot of nice dancers though. I would say like really, really good dancers. I've been seeing dancers come out of these groups like left and right and they've been like really, really good. So, fifth gen is doing their thing with that. I would say a huge example in fifth gen is Bailey Sok. I know she's been doing stuff before, even becoming an idol, but seeing her dance and stuff like that has been crazy. Like she does crazy stuff, and I would say personally she's probably one of the best dancers in fifth gen just in general. So it's just interesting, I guess, going through the different gens that there are and seeing the different dancers that come out of them and just seeing everybody go crazy and stuff like that, because again, a lot of them are amazing at dancing. Performer, I don't know, performer is a little harder because you got singing, you got dancing, and then you have singing and dancing at the same time, but then you also have someone that can be able to draw the crowd in, hype up the crowd, and stuff like that. And I would say for that, I don't know if that's a specific thing that I would say I would choose a specific person for, but maybe I would choose a specific group, right? Or multiple groups. There are multiple groups that I've been watching performances of and really, really love their performances. A recent group that I've seen performances by, straight out the bat, NMIXX does great when it comes to the singing and dancing at the same time. I feel like they do some of the best that I've seen, right? Like that's their like bread and butter right there. Like they just it goes for them 100%. I think they kill it when they live perform as well. I've seen a couple like concert live performances. A lot of those reactions on my Patreon. Some I do watch on my own when it comes to other performances. So one I'm about to mention right now is Cordis. They're performing like they know how to give energy, right? They energy doing whatever, something like that. I've watched a couple other performances and they've done great when it comes to that. And then just there's other groups just in general overall that I think do a great job when it comes to that. Also, again, I'm not gonna name every group because there's a lot. When it comes to this stuff, I usually don't have too much of a bias towards a specific artist or something like that, because I usually check out a lot of artists. So I don't have a specific bias take when it comes to that. I just usually kind of see a thing and I like it and then I point it out and stuff like that. So I don't usually have a one specific favorite. I usually have multiple people that I kind of commend for being that. That is a perspective that I like to have as well, because of the fact that you do have to think about the fact that a lot of it is manufactured in a way to be almost nearly perfect, right? Of course, there are some things, some mistakes, some things that can happen to make it not perfect. Of course, these people are human at the end of the day. Even if their stuff that they put out is manufactured, they are human and they do make mistakes when it comes to performing, dancing, singing, all that stuff. But I would say, just as an overall thing, as the K-pop industry, the product and the intention is to be perfect. So it's kind of hard to pick what is the best when it comes to performing and stuff like that, because everybody is putting the most effort that they can to put out the most perfect performance that they can. So it's kind of hard choosing, right, when it comes to all of that, because you have to think about that. So I would say that's my answer to that question as well. So now moving on to the sixth question right here. Your favorite movies slash TV series slash animes. So I consider animes TV series as well. If I'm talking about live action TV series, I guess I can also add that. Movies, I don't have any specific favorite movies, I would say. I've watched a lot of movies throughout my lifetime, but I don't think I have any specific favorite movies. Now I will say, favorite movie of this year right now, Obsession. I just watched that maybe like 2 days ago. And since then, I watched it 2 more times. That movie is freaking wild. It is a great concept, in my opinion. And the way it was executed with a low budget for movie standards is just fire. So if you guys haven't seen Obsession, you guys gotta watch Obsession 100%. I don't know if maybe the genre, of course, might not be your specific thing that you like to watch in movies, but if it is, definitely check it out. Right now, I'm banking on that Spider-Man movie to be crazy though. I'm banking on that Spider-Man movie to be crazy. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. He has been since I've been a child. I'm banking on that Spider-Man movie to go crazy. But for right now, or this year, Obsession, 100%. Last year, I don't know what was my favorite movie from last year. I know a couple years ago, maybe I would say my favorite movie had been Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was a great movie. I thought it was a great take on the multiverse. I love multiversal things. Superhero genre is like my thing, so they do the multiverse a lot. And then that movie came out and it was like a different spin on it. And I was like, yeah, this is fire. 100%. So yeah, that movie I would say is another one. I would say an all-time classic favorite, which could be, a hot take or controversial, is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I grew up with that movie and it is still one of my favorite movies to watch. I don't usually watch it that much anymore, obviously. But when I was growing up, I watched that thing like a million times. It was one of my favorite movies growing up, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Not Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So the remake with Johnny Depp. I know that's why I said it might be a hot take, because I know everybody thinks the Willy Wonka one is the better one. I like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one. That was something. It was something about that movie that just yeah. It was the atmosphere of it. There was something about it that was like different. So I thought that was very interesting. For that one, really love Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Also, one of my favorite Christmas movies, I would say Polar Express, 100%. I watch that one almost every Christmas. I think actually every Christmas I've watched that movie. There's something great about that movie as well. It has this magical kind of thing that I feel like perfectly kind of captures the Christmas vibe and feel, especially for like Christmas Eve night, the whole thing, them going to the North Pole, meeting Santa, all that. I still watch it to this day. It's a great movie for me. So yeah, that's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I would say like my favorite Christmas movies 100%, but I don't think I have like an all-time favorite movie that I've watched, being completely honest with that. If you guys do have any specific recommendations that you guys want me to check out, definitely put that down in the comments down below. I wanted to start actually watching more like movies and stuff like that over on the Patreon. I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters over there. But I did want to start watching stuff more like movies and TV series and stuff like that. Speaking of TV series, saying my favorite TV series. So this is my favorite TV series and anime of all time, right? Because like I said, I consider a lot of animes TV series anyway, because they are TV series. You guys may know this if you've seen my videos like from the very beginning when I was in a different place. I had specific pictures in the back of like anime stuff. And one that always stayed up for a long time was the one of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is the best show I've ever seen in my life. Is the best show that exists for me, 100%. I don't like look, anime show just in general. Attack on Titan is a freaking masterpiece. I don't care what anybody says, it is a masterpiece. My favorite show of all time. The concept of it, the fact that it goes away from the typical protagonist antagonist good or bad side thing, and I like when stuff like that does that, right? Because it doesn't give you a specific villain hero story. I think, if you haven't watched Attack on Titan and you do like anime or just good shows just in general, watch Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is the one. I would say live action TV series, if we're not talking just about, specific anime, right? Live action TV series, I would say I like Game of Thrones a lot. Game of Thrones is one that I really enjoyed. Recently, I had watched the TV show that I really, really enjoyed, which was Heroes. Really, really love that entire thing. The way it ended was a little weird, but that's what happens with a lot of shows. Like it goes good for a bit, and then it just starts going down, and then everything kind of gets a little weird. But that one, it didn't get too weird, right? I liked Heroes a lot. One that I will say was one of my favorite shows, and it got really weird and just like not weird in a way of like weird, but like it just wasn't as good as before, is The Flash. So I grew up watching The Flash, one of my favorite TV shows. It actually made The Flash my favorite DC hero, right? Because I think before that it was like Batman or something like that. Still love Batman. Batman's great. But from that show became my favorite DC hero. Just because like it's such a cool power when you think about it. It's such a cool power, even though they nerfed him a lot, which is like it's like why would you nerf him? But of course they nerf him for to make the show, right? But then a lot of things, like I said, what made it weird is that they started doing a lot of things that didn't make sense. Like it just didn't make sense because he would be upgraded at a certain point. They would start the season talking about, oh, he's faster than before. Then he gets beat by like a freaking like D-level villain. I'm like, what? How does that even make sense? I could do a whole rant about the Flash and everything and its downfall, but the way it started, I would say from season 1 up to season 5, some of the best television. I would say that entire CW kind of like superhero thing was one of my favorite things to watch. Especially also Legends of Tomorrow from beginning to end. Actually, I know a lot of people might trash on the ending. The only reason why I would trash on the ending of that show is because they left it on a freaking cliffhanger, dude. They left it on a cliffhanger and then it just ended. They canceled it. I hate when stuff happens like that. But I would say from the beginning to the end of that show, I loved it. Every single thing. Loved every single thing about Legends of Tomorrow. The DC superhero thing from CW, there were some hits, there were some misses, but I think overall I did enjoy that a lot. Especially Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois, I would say, is the best thing that has come out from that. And you can kind of tell because it's very short in seasons compared to the other shows. It didn't have time to fall off like those other shows. And I think, maybe some shows do need to do that, is like kind of shorten their story a bit. Because when you go too long, you feel me, it starts to get a little iffy. But I would say, those shows when it comes to like, my favorite shows are like the CW kind of like shows I grew up watching and stuff like that. Animated kind of cartoon shows and stuff like that. I love Regular Show, Adventure Time. I grew up watching all of that. Young Justice, 100%. Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of my favorite things. I do know about the specific live action thing that is out, and I have watched that. And I will say, for a person that is a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, animated TV shows, they are kind of butchering it. But if you look at it from a perspective of this show is kind of like Avatar set in a different universe, like the multiverse thing, then it kind of gets a little better. I feel like it's a better show to watch if you didn't watch the original. If like it's not a bad thing if you didn't watch the original, but if you did, it's not it. But yeah, that would be my answer to that question right there. You did say anime is plural, so I'll give you like top 3 animes. Attack on Titan, I already said that. Full Metal Alchemist, 100%. You also saw that on the wall. Also, that was on the wall was Danganronpa, but I don't think I would say that's my number 3 anime, even though I absolutely loved the Danganronpa 3 show. that whole thing, both seasons, absolutely amazing for me. So that's another anime that I would say I really, really loved. But I would say for my number three anime, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that could be tied together. But I would say maybe Death Note. I remember really liking that. I feel like Death Note was one of the things that got me back into anime because there was a point. I think I started watching anime around like I was like 8 and I was watching anime. At the time I had watched those couple of animes, but then I stopped watching anime. But then I started watching anime again when I had started watching, I think, Fate Last Encore. That was when I started watching, and then after that was Death Note, and then that's when I really started getting to watch more and more anime after watching Death Note. So I would say Death Note would be number three for that. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. I know I'm absolutely yapping, but let's go into the next question. Besides music, do you have other hobbies or just things you enjoy in general? I would say yeah, 100%. Music obviously is my hobby to kind of do the reactions and stuff like that, but I just love listening to music and even making music as well and doing little fun things with that. But other hobbies, I would say video games, playing video games a lot. I play video games a little less now than I used to because I have a little less time to do it, but I do still play video games. I think the most recent video game that I was playing was Resident Evil 9 that just came out. That's good. I haven't finished it yet, so no spoilers. But I've been playing a couple games. I'm excited for Wolverine coming out, and I'm excited for GTA 6. And I actually wanted to play GTA 6 on the channel, not this channel specifically, but I was planning to make like another channel, right? For the people that want to see like different content besides the kind of music reactions and stuff like that. I wanted to also do gaming as well. That's one thing that I've kind of been wanting to do, right? Just kind of like throughout my entire life, kind of wanted to do game. I did have a gaming channel before a while ago. I'm not going to tell you the name of that channel. I'd be surprised if you can find it, but yeah, I did have a gaming channel and those videos are still up, and I did do a bunch of gaming over there and stuff like that. But GTA 6, when that comes out, maybe I'll start doing another gaming thing as well because I actually do want to play that game as well. I am going to play that, stuff like that. So yeah. Gaming, I guess, is the next thing I would say is another one of my hobbies. Specifically, anything else? Not really. I think it's really just music and gaming and watching TV shows. That's really what I like to do in my free time. And then I guess working out, which I don't know. Like, do you consider working out a hobby? Right? I know for some people that is a huge thing that they like focus on. They do like the bodybuilder thing. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I am a person that works out every day. So I guess that's a specific thing, but I do that mainly for my health and physique, right? Just do working out just in general. So yeah, working out, I guess, is another thing that I can add on to that. The next question is, are you planning to become a full-time reactor? So I won't say that I'm planning to become a full-time reactor, but if the opportunity arised for me to become a full-time reactor, I would not hesitate to become a full-time reactor. I said this before, but I absolutely love doing reacting to music, reacting to different videos and shows and stuff like that that you guys want me to react to and stuff like that. I love doing it, right? Just putting my thoughts out about stuff and discussing with stuff with you guys is just the most entertaining thing ever. And of course, unfortunately, I can't spend all of my time in the day doing that because I am not doing it full time. But if I were to have the chance to do it full time, like if this grew to a point where I could do it full time, again, like I said, I would not hesitate to do it full time because I really, really enjoy this. Shoot, if I was doing this full time, reacting and stuff like that, you guys would be getting like 5 reaction videos a day, 100%. Like I would not stop. It would just be content, reacting, stuff like that. You got look, shoot, everybody will be getting the reactions they want, like literally everybody. So I know I react to a bunch of different artists, and I might not be always reacting to the specific artist that you guys want me to listen to at a specific time. If I were to do this full time, literally all of you guys will be getting the reactions that you want to see. But yeah, currently not doing it full time. But if I were to do it full time, then that's what would be happening 100%. So yeah, not planning to do it, but if it does get to a point that I could do it, absolutely. Absolutely, yes, I would do it 100%. What are my favorite foods? I got a lot of favorite foods. I got a lot of different favorite cuisines. My favorite cuisine of all time is Mexican food. Favorite food specifically, I guess like pizza, right? I feel like because I've answered this question before. It was like if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, nothing else, what would you choose? I've always answered pizza. And that's mainly because you can do so many things with pizza. I feel like people underestimate the things that you could do with pizza, right? And it doesn't have to be the unhealthy, very bready pizza. You could do like a nice little thin crust. I do like a little cauliflower crust here and there, stuff like that. Like there's so many different toppings, so many different, sauces, and just like different things that you can make with a pizza. Like it's like almost everything that you can put in one, right? So pizza, 100% would be my favorite food. Also tacos. Love tacos. Pizza and tacos are like the main thing. You could do different variations with that as well. Of course, I love me some good soul food too. You got the fried chicken, you got the collard greens, the mac and cheese, the yams, the cornbread, just any stuff like that. That's usually a lot of what I eat as well during like the holidays and stuff like that. So a lot of good soul food. I love me some good soul food. So yeah, I like that stuff right there when it comes to foods. Okay, so the last question Shang asks. By the way, again, Shang, thank you for all these questions because there really wasn't that many questions. So you kind of fueled most of this video. The last question that Shang asks is, I remember you saying in a previous video that you don't have many friends IRL or online. Has doing this channel changed that in any way? Or in general, what has this channel brought for you, or in what aspects did it change your life or character? All right, so to answer that question, there's like multiple questions in this one question. So has it changed the fact that I don't have any like friends IRL or online? Not really. Like I wouldn't say like I've made any friends IRL based off this channel. I still don't have any friends IRL. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I don't have any friends that I actually talk to IRL, and that's not because of anything specific. I feel like I really don't go out that much and like just talk to random people. And I think that's mainly also to do with the kind of era that I grew up in. You got COVID, all of that happened and stuff like that. And it just like, I had no trouble when I was in school and stuff like that. I had no trouble making friends. It was just the fact of me not being the type of person to reach out and talk to those friends constantly. So obviously, over time, when you don't talk to people, you kind of fade out over time. And that's just the main thing that happened with me and stuff like that. And then also, I wanted to focus more on just myself in my life and kind of moving forward with that. And, I just feel like the friends that I had at the time didn't really add anything to that. So, obviously, I just kind of just move forward and not kind of talk to them. Nothing to do with them, nothing to do with me either. It's just circumstances. So yeah, don't have really any friends IRL online. I don't really talk to anybody specifically except for you guys. So I guess I would say you guys are my friends. I got friends through you guys on here. You feel me? Not friends that I would tell all my closest secrets and stuff like that about, stuff like that. But I think friends enough to be able to talk about similar interest with, right? I'm more comfortable talking about similar interest with you guys. So I would say you guys are my friends in that way. The next thing was, what has the channel brought for me? So I would say doing this channel brought a little kind of more happiness when it comes to when I'm listening to music and stuff like that, and just kind of being able to talk specifically about the specific thing that I like. Because I'll tell you guys, I'm a thinker. I think a lot. My brain moves at millions of speeds at a time and stuff like that. That's why a lot of times I stutter, because it's like I'm saying things fast, but I'm also thinking fast and stuff like that. So sometimes I'm just yapping and I can't, you feel me, think as fast as I'm saying. So I kind of stutter on something like that. But my brain moves fast and I think about many different things at a time. So being able to put all my thoughts out, I guess, having a platform to be able to put my thoughts out when it comes to stuff like music, the stuff I love, like music, has been a thing that I would say that has brought me a lot of, joy in a way. So I guess that's what this channel has brought me when it comes to that. The aspects that might change my life or character, I wouldn't say like nothing has like changed my life per se, but character, I would say I'm a little more talkative right through this. Like I can be more talkative through this, a little more comfortable on camera and all of that and stuff. Like I've always been pretty comfortable on camera, but I guess a little more comfortable on camera. So if I'm on camera, I'm not really shy about that and stuff like that. And I've also been, again, a person that's never really had problems talking to people IRL, but I guess it has kind of helped with that as well. Maybe allowed me to think about certain things that I might say a little more specifically and stuff like that. And a lot of things in my life have kind of added to that. But I do think that the channel has helped a bit in a way with all of that. So yeah, I guess I would say that's the answer for that question. So those are all the 10 questions from Shang. Oh, thank you again. You guys should definitely check out his channel. He also does reactions. I think you guys would find his thoughts interesting as well. So definitely check out his channel. Next question is, has your taste in music changed at all since you started your channel? Like enjoying genres that you either wouldn't have paid much attention to or just didn't like at all previously? And I would say, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Said this a million times before, but my favorite music genre is R&B. I grew up listening to R&B. I grew up listening to a lot of hip hop and R&B. Those two, hip hop and R&B, of course, that makes sense. If you've seen a lot of my reactions, those are my favorite genres to listen to. I did listen to a lot of pop music as well when I was a little younger. I think I stopped listening to like a bunch of like the mainstream pop when I was like, I think like 10 or 11. I think past that point, like when I got in middle school, that's when I started getting more into like the R&B, hip hop stuff. But I would say doing this channel has made me pay attention to more genres and be able to enjoy more genres that I hadn't before. So like all the experimental crazy stuff like that, like I didn't really listen to songs like that, before listening to K-pop and listening to stuff on this channel. So all that stuff, like I would say, definitely I enjoy way more than I feel like I would have like 10 years ago. Besides the experimental stuff, the more kind of like EDM, I would say EDM, definitely I like a little more now. Rock especially. And I was, okay with rock before, but it wasn't really like a genre that I feel like I listened to that much. Right? Like it wasn't a thing that I would put on and be like, oh yeah, I need to hear this rock song, this guitar go crazy and all that stuff. Like I didn't really listen to rock like that. Like it wasn't my thing, I would say. I like the sounds, but it just didn't really appeal to me that much, I guess, the way it was done, right? But I would say there's a specific group that made me really, really like rock in the specific way they do it, and that's Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher, it's the way they do the rock sounds, but also their voices. And I feel like vocals are a huge thing when it comes to like songs a lot for me, especially for genres that I don't listen to that much, like rock. When it comes to rock, I gotta hear some really nice vocals behind them. And I would say Dreamcatcher definitely does rock to a point where I'm like, yeah, I really, really enjoy that 100%. So yeah, Dreamcatcher is the group that I feel like got me into rock a lot. And then that got me more into liking more rock sounds from other groups as well. Because other groups also put out rock songs. So it allowed me to like it from those groups. And then just artists just in general, I started liking rock a little more. Just based off of that. So yeah, definitely K-pop has helped me when it comes to that. Even more like kind of brighter pop sounds, maybe. I started liking a little more based off of K-pop, like brighter pop sounds, just stuff like that. I think K-pop does that really well. And I think what really made me like it is because a lot of these groups do a really good job of mixing sounds together, right? So they have a specific sound for one part of the song and then they have it different for another part of the song. So I thought that was just a really interesting thing for me just in general. And it made me like the other kind of sounds and stuff like that because of the fact that I was listening to those songs. Like I would like a specific sound of a certain part of a song, right? Like the R&B part of like the bridge or the pre-chorus. I'm like, yo, this is fire. But then they have the other part and I'm like, okay, this is cool right here. So then I would listen to it over and over again and it made me really like the specific part that I wasn't 100% fond of before, but now I like it even more because I've been listening to the song for the other part, like the R&B part. So now I like both parts a lot. And I think the fusion aspect of everything is the most genius thing ever. It really made me like a lot of genres that I didn't really 100% like before. So yeah, I would say, yeah, K-pop has definitely changed my ear when it comes to a lot of that. And I feel like it kind of refined my ear a bit as well because I'm always kind of looking for the next thing and the specific thing in the song to happen and stuff like that. I have very sensitive hearing anyway, so I hear, a lot of different things when it comes to listening to music, but that's definitely a thing that I feel like that helped with a lot when it comes to K-pop. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. All right, so next question is, if you really liked a K-pop song, do you listen to it usually outside of the channel, like when going somewhere or at the gym, etc.? Yeah. 100%, most definitely. Yeah, I'm not one of those channels that listens to K-pop for like the views and stuff like that and just watches it on the channel and stuff like that just to get entertained by it once and then never listen to it again. When I listen to music, I listen to music. When I say every song that I've said that I've liked on this channel, I've not lied to you guys once when it comes to that. But every song that I listen to and I've said that I've liked, I've put straight on my playlist right after reacting to it, and I listen to it all. So yeah, like when I go out, when I'm, you feel me, on the road or something like that, when I'm doing stuff in my kitchen, cleaning up, cooking or something like that, just doing stuff just in general, I listen to those songs. Even when I was working at a specific job before, I, would have the songs in my ear playing. I was working at one job that I had to work outside, and it was like nighttime because I was like, on a closing shift or whatever. And I had Moonwalking from Long Shot playing, and I was just I was dancing while doing the job. You feel me? I was doing the job, but you feel me? There wasn't really that many customers, so I was just kind of like vibing or whatever, just walking around vibing to Moonwalking. So yeah, I listen to K-pop all the time. Like I'm, again, like I said, I'm not one of those people that just watch and listen to it for the channel. I'm an actual music listener. I listen to this stuff outside of the channel as well. And I mean, you guys can kind of see that with my Spotify stats. If you look at my kind of Spotify thing that I put out from last year, when it was like the last kind of like, the top 5 artists or something like that, you guys would see on there that I actually do listen to these artists that I really like and stuff like that, and these songs just in general. So I would say from this, I don't even know how many songs I've listened to on this channel. I'm not gonna go back and count, but there's a lot of freaking videos and there's a lot of songs. There's like definitely over like that is thousands. So I've added thousands of songs on my playlist through this channel alone in the past 2 years that I've been doing this. Also, the person that asked to, kind of address your other comment, I have been seeing your request for the specific thing that you have been requesting in the comments. I see it. I know you've usually been putting it on the other comments and stuff like that. I do see it, and I will get to that eventually. Trust me. I've just been doing, of course, other things. And that also applies to, if you're a person kind of putting in the comments down specific things that you guys want me to react to. Like I said before, I'm not going to always be able to get to them right away, but when I do, and they will be reacted to eventually. All the songs, albums, whatever, they will be done eventually. Trust me. Like I literally read all the comments. There's not been many comments that I've like just skipped and not read. I read all the comments. I see everybody's requests and comments and stuff like that. Just to let you guys know that if you didn't know that and you were wondering if I did see your comment, I did. So the last question, they actually said that I was their top 1 most watched channel from last year. So thank you, 100%. Thank you for the congrats, and then thank you for actually watching me that much for me to be your top 1 most. Like, again, I'm very surprised when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I didn't think that my reactions would be that much interesting to watch, especially because I don't know if you guys noticed, I said this before, but I'm a very repetitive speaker. There's not many things that I say different when it comes to certain things. Of course, the specific things that I point out are different because different songs are different. But the way I describe things are pretty similar. So I usually am surprised when I see that people really like my stuff that much because of that point. But yeah, thank you a lot, 100%. And then their question right here is just basically the same question that I had from Shang as well, which was my favorite movies in the series. So I of course I answered your question already, but I do want to at least point you out right here because you said that I was your top 1 most watched channel, 100%. So again, thank you for that. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this Q&A thing for now, because those are all the ones that I got. Again, if you guys do have any additional questions, definitely feel free to put that down in the comments down below. I'll answer them either on a part 2 or just in the comments. I would say any reaction for a specific thing, as always, just put it down in the comments down below. Anything that you want me to react to, I will get to it eventually. Not right away, but eventually I will get to it, because like I said, I do see everything. And if I'm not getting to your specific thing that you want to see like very quickly, like, please don't think that I'm ignoring you or neglecting you or something like that. A lot of times I just choose the things that I am most interested to check out specifically, and I check those out. Again, I really do want to react to everything that I can. Again, if I was doing this full time, you guys would be getting all the reactions like very, very quickly. But that's just not where I am right now specifically. But, hopefully in the future, we will get to that point over here. Again, thank you guys for 10,000 subscribers. I do actually also have another video to make, basically talking to you guys, because I do kind of want to change things up a bit. There are going to be a little kind of updates for the channel. I'm not going to do it in this video right here because it's like a whole separate thing, but there will be another video coming out pretty soon, kind of explaining the updates that I do want to make for this channel, especially moving forward, to maybe, help out with kind of getting stuff out a little quicker and kind of like satisfy everybody's wants when it comes to the specific way that I react. You guys will see that update pretty soon. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you all again, all 10,000 and more of you. Thank you for subscribing and being interested in my content. This is just the beginning right here. We will be moving forward with more stuff coming very soon, so you guys can look forward to all of that. But yeah, 100%. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.